Hello, this is John. Welcome to another episode of History and Prayer, America 250. Recently, we have seen the darkness of a terrorist assassination and the brutal murder of a young woman on a subway car. These abhorrent actions have put us on fast approach to whatever comes next as we face the fear of uncertainty. So, with the help of a modern-day chaplain, let's learn lessons of resilience and strategy to survive the assaults and repeated confrontations of what life throws at us. Chaplain Justin Topp, United States Navy retired, is an assistant professor of ancient scripture at Brigham Young University and an associate graduate coordinator for the university's chaplaincy program. He holds a PhD in counseling psychology and was an LDS chaplain in the U.S. Navy. He completed over 6 years and 2 at-sea deployments in support of the global war on terror before leaving active duty behind. Focusing on the 1942 Battle of Edson's Ridge on Guadalcanal in the Southwest Pacific, Chaplain Topp fuses the elements of raw combat into an understandable stratagem of daily survival. The Battle of Edson's Ridge, also known as Bloody Ridge, was another critical turning point in the war against Imperial Japan. On a ridge overlooking Henderson Airfield on the island of Guadalcanal, Colonel Red Mike Edson's 840 Marines were enmeshed with 3,000 Imperial Japanese troops. If the ridge fell, Henderson Field would fall, leaving the Marines with their backs to the Pacific. If Guadalcanal fell, Australia's lifeline to America would be crippled. From September 12th to the 14th, Edson fought and scraped through continuous and ferocious bayonet, grenade, and close-quarters combat fighting. With reinforcements and artillery support, Red Mike counterattacked, driving off the exhausted enemy. The Japanese lost 850 KIA and over 1,000 wounded. The Marines lost 80 killed and 240 wounded. Here's Chaplain Topp's perspective on this battle 83 years later. It's a crucial lesson for today. Here's his take. Every day, our goals and values are under assault. We have our objectives. We know what kind of person we want to be and what kind of life we want to live. However, there are constant forces that try to overrun these objectives. Every day, we must fight the battle between what is easy and what is right. In order to succeed, we must take a good look at our own vulnerabilities. We must ask ourselves where the biggest threat to our future will most likely come from, and then we must strengthen those defenses. We must identify where our destructive habits, desires, and attitudes are being supported, and then choke off their supply lines. There may be times when we feel like it isn't fair, or that everything is working against us becoming the person we want. In fact, that may be true. Maybe you do have the odds stacked against you. Maybe life has been unfair, but that doesn't change anything. Remember, it is useless to ask ourselves why it is we are here. We are here. There is only us between the future we want and a life of just getting by. If we don't hold, we will lose ourselves. So, rather than wallow in pity because the odds are stacked against us, get to work like Edson's Raiders did on Bloody Ridge. Fortify your position. Pore over maps of your personal battlefield to be able to see the big picture of your life. Strengthen your resolve. Enlist support from those you respect and trust. Replenish your spiritual supplies and make sure the lines stay open. Then, fight to the last man. Through my experience, I would add that we don't have to fight our battles alone. A Marine fights for his buddy next to him in his foxhole as he fights for him. And pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps sounds strong and assertive, but as you can see from the picture, it is at times whimsical. We need support. We need our two-word prayer, God help. Finally, what does your current battlefield look like? We are all different. Some of us are in skirmishes just trying to keep our heads down, while some of us are blistered, sodden, and bloodied. However, we are not alone. We shall not be silenced. We have prayer. Thank you for watching this episode of History and Prayer, America 250. Remember, there is always hope.